Kai is Israel's teammate.
Yes.
So Israel took an offense to something he said and
Yes.
applied him. So he went
And
at
Israel
it.
stood up.
Yeah.
Israel stood up, and Israel was as high as this. And Manokwek was as like this, and he was still saying, "Then you sit down, you sit down."
It's all for the cameras, man. When the cameras are out there, these fighters.
But he fights aggressively. Hello, casuals. You're welcome to the Casual Experience Show, where we bring exciting MMA news. And I'm here with my friend Chimzy.
Yes, sir. Nice to be here. I'm hyped to be here.
And you were in our watch party. That was your first experience. How was it?
Man, it was thrilling. It was thrilling because being an MMA fan in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I always watch fights alone or with my brother because I still.
Your brother too seems to be an avid fan.
Yeah.
You guys didn't sleep all through, did you?
No, we didn't sleep all through. That's the routine for the years.
For fight nights.
Yes, for fight nights. That's been the routine.
Wow.
So I was hyped to watch with like other casuals, other MMA fans. Yeah, it was a good experience. Yes.
So which of the fights caught your fancy?
The main event was good.
Yeah.
I also like when heavyweights fight. So Cyril Volkov was a really good scrap for me. It was a very technical scrap, very different from the last fight. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Who do you think won that fight? Because everyone seems to say it's a robbery.
We're together. I know. Yes. I said Volkov should take it to 29-28.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
The second round seemed to be the debacle for the judges. If you look, I rewatched the fight. That was on Sunday morning when they used to do that replay thing. And honestly, I think some of those judges too, they are casuals. They are just people that have the knowledge of judging fights, but they don't look at it like from a professional angle, where like how a Daniel Cormier will look at it. They look at it like, oh, he gives punch, is holding him down, and that's how I felt they judge that.
But I mean, that's not how it's meant to be. True. Because they are the judges of the fight.
Yeah.
And the fight is in their hands at the end of the day. So they have to be very critical about.
So about the levels of Pantoja.
I said it before the fight. I mean, that Ascora guy, he's a good MMA person in Japan, but I always say this: there's levels to this thing.
Yes.
The UFC is like a different stage entirely.
Yeah.
So I knew Pantoja was going to get it done. I was confident in that. Yes.
Well, almost all of us, apart from GOC, was confident that Pantoja was going to win because he said it that there are just levels. There are just levels to this thing. You can't just come bring a guy from Japan because he has a name and just come and take my belt off.
I honestly felt like the UFC should have given him a main event fight first. Against like a number one contender or number two contender, something like that. I agree with you. For him to like earn a spot.
Yes. Even familiarize with the fighting in a cage. That was the first time fighting in a cage. That's the only first time I feel him fighting abroad. The guy kept his cool all through the world. Credit to him. But like
it's Pantoja. I just knew he was going to make it an ugly fight.
Yes, now.
Ascora is used to the fights being very clean.
Yes.
And, striking battle, technique for technique.
Pantoja no go do that one with you now.
He's doing MMA. It's an MMA fight, so he's going to mix it up and make it dirty. Make it ugly. Yeah.
I didn't even see I didn't see the fight going beyond 2 rounds myself too.
Yes, you said it that day.
It was just a great fight. But overall, I mean, someone like you that is as an MMA avid fan that watches the fights for the love of fights. I'm sure you've watched different pay-per-views this year. You've seen many fight nights. Which fight comes to your memory that when you think about the UFC, the events that UFC have put up this year, that just comes into your like, wow, that was a fight.
I mean, 300 was a very good card because because of how stacked it was.
Yeah,
it was like a monumental card.
Yeah,
and the fight in the Sphere, I can't remember what.
It was Sugar Sean and
Merab Walishvili and Sugar Sean. Yes, that was a really good card. I'll say that because of the production.
The production,
it was
yes.
something we've never seen before.
Yes.
The UFC production in other arenas just feels like the same thing, but that was
like an action movie. It was like every fight felt like you saw the mirage of the fighters coming out in, like the fans watching the fight on the screen themselves.
Yeah.
The whole arena was a screen. It was just.
I watched Sugar Sean's pod. He was saying he felt like during the main events people were silent.
Yeah.
Because they were just more
In
amazed.
awe.
Yes, about what was going on around the arena than even the fight itself.
Yes.
Like it was amazing. I can't imagine being in that.
And kudos to the UFC and their crew, the production, Dana White, like they just keep upping themselves.
Every year it's better.
He keeps saying that
story.
he keeps saying every year is their best year.
Yeah.
And for me too, 300 seems to be a significant, like it was a memorable card for me. Just for, was it, which fight was Max Holloway and Gaethje on?
That was 300.
That was 300.
Yes.
Then which that was the fight Poltan and Yamahil fought on.
Yeah. I think the main event was meant to be another fight.
Yes.
But Alex came on short notice here and did his thing.
And which made you think, like, who won the fighter of the year in your own opinion, Alex or Ilya?
It has to be Alex. You know, stepping on short notice in like 2 different occasions. He defended his belt 3 times this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about Ilya that knocked out 2 dominant champions?
True, but I just feel like it's the timing of it.
Yeah.
The
for
timing,
him, Abi.
yes.
Why do you say that?
For Alex.
Okay, for Alex,
the timing of it, him coming up to save cards, you know, moving up a weight class, you know, doing all that, you know, it's really something.
His star really shone this year.
It's something.
And he the whole charmer, the whole celebration, he just brought an aura around him.
His persona.
He didn't even need. He's intimidating and menacing enough. He doesn't need much English. For fans to resonate with his style of fighting and his persona.
That's good enough.
Did you hear that idea is moving up to? He said he's going to move up to lightweight.
Yes, I heard. And apparently, I was shocked to figure out that he wasn't trying to fight for the title immediately. He wants to fight the number 1 contender. That's
Charles Oliveira.
Yes.
But there's the rematch of him and Volk there. I think if he's going to still fight in featherweight, he has to rematch Volk. Because in my opinion, I don't think it was a peak Volk, even though he has this old man persona. I feel him coming 3 months after getting head kicked into the moon by Islam,
yes,
coming to fight someone that would crowd the cage and put punches on you was just too early and was not a good move at that moment. So that's not mean making excuse for Ilya, though.
I mean, Volk is arguably the greatest featherweight of all time.
Yeah.
You know, so if he's given another opportunity to fight against Ilya, you can't contend that, you know. And I feel like that was what was meant to have come next, even before him fighting Holloway.
Do you think it would be okay? You mean the rematch of Volk before he fought Holloway?
Yes, but I feel like the time away Volk took was good, very good for him. So when he's coming to the octagon, there's no he's coming off a knockout 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago. He's fully rested, fully recovered.
So you see the fight being a compelling match this time around?
More competitive, I would say.
Yeah,
you know,
good.
we can't really say how the fight is going to go.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's going to be a lot more competitive than the first fight. Yeah.
And this brings us to the last card of the year for the UFC. They've done up, and in fact, they've helped themselves in many ways. And you can even see the last card, the fight nights card. This card of this is the last card. Is Colby obviously is a star himself. Yes. He has a name, and Buckley is a budding star in his own right. Also, I was looking at some of the past fights of Buckley, and man, that guy has some mad ass highlights, man.
Yeah, so Buckley is a menace. He's chaotic. That's really what he does. You know,
chaotic, fighting chaos, and he's fighting for the chaos coming.
I was saying that to someone earlier today. Like, he's the real chaos.
Yeah,
like he's the real chaos because like he has been a middleweight for a long time.
Yes.
Last year, 2023, I think his first fight was in March or April. His first welterweight fight.
Yeah.
Was in March or something, 2023. And since then, he's been doing his thing. He has 5 fights. He's won 5 fights.
Yeah.
His last 3 fights has been against like ranked opponents.
Yes.
Or like elite opponents.
Yes.
Yeah. So
elite.
Yeah, there's some fights that we didn't even expect him to win, but he shocked us. He knocked out Vicente Luque.
Knocked out Stephen Thompson.
No, you see, he arguably one of the best strikers in the welterweight division.
Thompson was arguably winning that match, He was winning that match.
Winning the fight. UFC always post up like a free fight.
Yes.
Leading up to the main event. So I actually rewatched. I watched the other fights, but not as well as I actually calmed down to watch it recently. Wonder Boy was winning the fight, till he wasn't.
His father was even telling him, that's Wonder Boy's coach, who is his father, was telling him that like he should just try and pace things out and not fight in the fire. And Joaquin's Buckley's coach was telling him like, man, you have to put it on this guy. And you could see him in the 3rd round start going okie jockey. Was trying to be inside trying to fight him inside.
Stay on the inside.
He gave him a beautiful right hook. And do you know what? One thing I found out about Buckley, he's such an intelligent fighter. He was on DJ's pod yesterday.
Okay.
And he was telling DJ that DJ was like, you have one of the best knockouts so far. That was the knockout against Impa.
Okay.
One Kasangana, yes. Where he held his leg and he spun and gave him a back kick. Do you know what made him do that? He said before the fight, it was a top highlight reel. He said
for years it's still one of the biggest.
It's like a Mortal Kombat kind of finish now.
It's like a movie.
You don't see it. You don't see a fighter holding an opponent's leg and the opponent
spinning back kick.
And giving him a spinning back kick. And even the way Impa went down, he got stunned for about 5 seconds. Then just fell down like a cartoon.
I think it's after that fight that 1 or 2 fights later he got caught from the UFC.
Who is that, Impa?
Yeah. Kasangana. He's fighting. I think he's in PFL right now. Yeah.
And I used to look at the guy like he's a good fighter. It just shows you how good Buckley can be.
And there's levels to this UFC.
So now,
thing,
how do you see that fight going?
You mean the main events for Saturday?
Kobe.
Honestly, I feel like Kobe hasn't fought in a long time.
Yes.
And apart from that, in the last 3 years, he had just 1 fight every year.
Yeah.
Last year, he fought just once. 2022, he fought just once.
And it was a dominant beating by Leon Edwards. I don't know what he did to Edwards.
You understand? So, I feel like Covington, he has this persona and all that. I feel like that's if what's his name, Buckley isn't ready for that, the mind games might do something to him.
He started it already.
Yes, he started already.
He's been talking trash. And now it seems that Donald, now being the president, now is giving him a kind of confidence. He calls himself Donald Trump best fighter.
Make America great again.
Yes, he calls himself Donald Trump's best fighter. Now he's coming all his own. I was watching his presser yesterday, and Kobe attacked every single body. From John Jones. He said the only kind of girls John Jones follow is fat girls, right from college. He went at Usman. He went at Buckley. He went at Kamzat. There was nobody. The only person he respected was Ilya, and I don't know why. When they asked him about Ilya, he just like, yeah, that one is a good fighter. Just leave him as he did.
Typical Kobe Covington. Why am I not surprised? I'm not surprised at all. But at the end of the day, man, that's not what wins the fight. They'll get into the cage at the end of the day. And like I was saying, Kobe Covington has ring rust.
Yeah.
I should imagine he does, because Buckley has been more active.
Yeah.
This is Buckley's fourth fight
this year.
Do you understand?
Buckley,
that's something. I'm picking Buckley.
Because if you look at
momentum on
yes. In fights, I always say it, when you have laybacks, I don't like supporting fighters, even no matter how good, if you're not John Jones. If you go out, there's always that ring rust. When you get into the octagon, it takes some adjusting.
Yes,
even the feeling of the leg, because the fighters they sweated on the mat.
Octagon, yes, on the mat.
It takes a while for you to adjust to it.
Yes.
And that's what I felt happened to him in the Edwards bout too. He was just overwhelmed. And for me, I might be wrong, but I think Kobe is past his prime. Let's left for the trash talk.
I mean, I feel like we have to find out. We can't really say that because Leon was the champion when they fought.
Yeah.
That's a factor. You know,
we
have to see Kobe fight.
It's still the same Leon. Belal. See how Belal mishandled. Handled Leon. He outstruck him. He outgrappled him. He outwrestled him.
I feel like that shows us how good Belal is.
Yes.
You get it. I feel like that shows how good Belal is.
Talking about that, when you see Shafkat and Ayangari fight, and now that Shafkat is going to be apparently facing Belal, when you look at the fight, don't you think that like Belal is way ahead of levels ahead of this?
This is the thing. Shafkat is good. His wrestling is good.
Yeah.
But I see him do a lot more of clinching. He's not the type to want to overwhelm you, keep on taking you to the ground.
Even his wrestling
he's confident in his stand-up.
Yeah.
You know, so he's just going to make it a little dirty, make it dirty boxing,
dirty fight.
Clinch you, you know, and all that. If a submission comes.
But that's where Belal too thrives.
True, but Belal will actually want to overwhelm you. He wants to keep on taking you down. He stand up, he's going to strike with you.
And he's physically strong.
Yes. He wants to keep on taking you down and all that. So I feel like that's what's going to be a factor in that fight.
And there are other fights you were mentioning before we started the show. You were particular about Manuel Cape. That guy is just a Tasmanian devil. I don't know what is wrong with him. He's just always angry at everybody.
Yeah.
The first time I noticed him, was when he was going at Israel. I don't know the press conference. When he was just going at Israel.
Okay, it was when
him and Kai Kara France were supposed to fight or something.
France.
Yes.
So he said something about Kai Kara France. You know, Kai is Israel's teammate.
Yes.
So Israel took an offense to something he said and replied him. So he went.
And Israel stood up.
Yeah.
Israel stood up, and Israel was as high as this. And Manuel Cape was as like this, and he was still saying, "Sit down, you sit down. I'll fuck you up."
I feel like it's all for the cameras, man. When the cameras are out there, you know, these fighters.
But he fights aggressively too, though.
But what happened against this guy, the UFC cut off, Mokaev, right?
Mokaev just drowned him.
They were just very flat. So,
yes, you know, before the fight, they were all about it.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yes, and Toroga was like, "Is that it?" When they rung the bell, they just is that it? When we were thinking that you guys would pitch yourself
try to kill each other
within 10 seconds, and
so
there are other fights too. Cobb Swanson.
Yeah, that's
Cobb Swanson is one of my best fighters ever.
That's the co-main.
I like the way he fights.
The thing about Cobb Swanson is this: you can never rule him out of a bout. Yeah, he's been. I don't think he's in rankings right now, but he's been in the top 15 in featherweight division for.
He's an OG, man.
Yeah, he's an OG. He's been like the gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper
for like a very long time. So you can't really, and he one thing I know for him is he's not scared of a fight. He's trying to fight anybody at any time, you know. So
he's
that kind of guy.
He's like the white Michael Johnson.
Of course.
You know Michael Johnson too is fighting on this card. Well, he's fighting on the prelims. I don't know why he's fighting on the prelims. He's fighting with that Ottoman Aizaita. You remember Azaman Ataita? You know? The UFC cut him off one time.
And they brought him back?
Yeah, obviously because of Ali. Abdulaziz would have done some things behind the scene.
Manager.
For them to bring him, and the guy, there are many interesting fights on this. Joel Alvarez is fighting Draka Close. You know Draka Close?
Draka Close, yes.
And Sean Woodson, that tall, lanky fighter that fights out featherweight. That one, I think, is just cutting too much weight. Is too big for that weight class.
After some time, he's going to move up. I feel like he's going to move up.
I would like to ask a fighter why they drain, like, you have to cut weight to a certain amount to make a certain weight class. But we that don't even know the whole thing about weight cutting, we can see when we see some of those fighters,
drained. Yes.
Like, see Alex
being drained
when he was fighting at middleweight, 185. How do they do it? Beyond discipline, beyond commitment, how do they do it?
It's a whole lot. Joe Rogan was saying something. He said he feels like every fighter should be fighting one weight class above.
Yes.
Joe Rogan was saying.
What was that? I didn't get that.
He said he feels like every fighter should be fighting one weight class above the weight class he's fighting at.
Like Poatan should be fighting.
When Poatan was in middleweight, he definitely felt like he should have been fighting at lightweight.
Yes.
Islam is champion of 155. He cut a lot of weights to make that weight class.
Israel is just a perfect fit for middleweight. Like,
but even if Israel actually still cuts He cuts weight.
No, but not a lot. Look at him when he fought at heavyweight, light heavyweight against Blaovic.
I feel like in 4 years ago, till now, Israel has bulked up a bit.
Yeah, it looks
so you notice that in his last few fights, he looks more drained.
Yes.
When he's on the scale, as compared to like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, Jonathan, when he was still actively defending his belt as champion, he has bulked up a bit.
And I think with time and age, the cutting gets more difficult for them.
Exactly. They put their bodies through a lot. So you know what it is. Just imagine me as I'm sitting like this.
Maybe you can't cut
the next 2 days.
Maybe you can't cut to bantamweight.
You go lose 4 kilos in the next 2 days. No, it's difficult. You know,
it's like
it's difficult.
Merab has started his dieting.
Of course,
this week.
Of course,
for a January 18 fight.
Of course.
He's begun his dieting already.
That's even far, because usually typical fight camp is like 8 weeks, 10 weeks,
2 months.
That's 2 months.
Yes.
You know, 2 months, and some people even extend it to like 3 weeks.
Yes, it's like a month and plus.
Yes, yeah. Do you get? So I'm sure he must have started dieting way before even this time.
Yeah.
If you see some of these fighters when they like are off season, when they're like coming to UFC to chill, see how big they look. Aljamain always looks like
how do you make this? Aljamain is a weight.
He looks like a light heavyweight.
He's a weight cheat. He's a weight cheat. I won't be surprised if Aljamain is fighting if he starts fighting at
welterweight. Even welter, to be honest, even welterweight.
Even at welterweight.
He's a big boy.
Such a big boy.
He's a big boy.
And well, we are here for all the fights. We as fans to this last fight, we are going to watch it.
Yes, sir.
And guys, we'll be having our last next week. We'll be having our last podcast for the year, where we'll be rounding up events and happenings of this year, and how far we've gone and how far we are going, and what's going to happen in the next year, 2025. It's going to be such a great year for we the casuals and the casual experience, and that thing, our own AKO is happening again.
Last December,
December 29th. Yeah, okay, a landmark in Lagos, and you can bet your house that will be there, like in our fullness of ourselves. Yeah, casual experience will be there, and we'll be repping our fighters, our regional fighters.
Yes.
Yahaya, the fighter, was supposed to be here today, but since he's got his fight news, he's training. He
has to be in camp.
He has to be in camp, and I know that I know I'm not a fighter, but their mindset is something else. So I know when I see all these the preview before fights, you see how prepared they are. So I'm not surprised, and we are rooting for our Nigerian guys. Yahaya, Machine Gun Shakes is the main event. He's fighting Emeka. I don't know. I don't know too much about the Emeka, but I'm sure for them to put him on the main.
You know, AKO is like a league format. It's almost like soccer.
Yes.
You win, you get 3 points. You draw.
You understand the format?
Points. I understand. It's like football.
Ugo and Uche, the commentators on the events, sound guys. They've been here and they explained it as best as they could, and we got it too. But like from your own casual perspective, I would like you to say it too.
I mean, it's like I've always been a sports fan. I watch football a lot, so it's typical league format. Typical Premier League, Champions League format. You win a fight, you get 3 points. You draw the fight, you get a point. You lose, you get 0 points. You know, so I think the idea is for them to fight every single person in
their weight class,
in their weight divisions. They don't have so many weight divisions in AKO. I think it's like 5 weight classes, something like that.
Even the women's weight class is just one.
Yeah, just one, just bantamweight. Right?
Yeah, they're building. They're building and they're growing.
Of course.
And the limit is boundless for them and for us. We will be cheering them all the way. You go.
I would love to be there, man.
Businessman.
I would love to be there.
Business. Like, we the casuals, we are going. Casual experience is going.
I would really love to be there. So, I'll clear up my December schedule.
We can put it out there for fans that want to go to
Lagos
for the AQ event landmark on the 29th. We'll be putting up movements and itineraries on movements. So if you want to be a part of us, you can always comment. And I said I was going to say this. You have an event coming up.
Yes. We have an event coming up on Saturday. Today is Thursday. We're recording this video on Thursday. Saturday, the 14th of December 2024. It's in my garden, the Mega Gardens. It's a food festival, So if you like to eat, I like to eat.
Yeah.
If you like to eat, just have to have a good time. Just come around, man. It's gonna be nice.
This is the casual experience show. Is the casuals are watching it? Are you inviting the casuals?
Everybody. I told you when we were texting. All the casuals, everyone is invited. Bring your family, bring your friends. It's not a rated event.
Yes.
You can come with anybody.
Yes.
It's food. Everybody eats food. Come with your grandmother, your mother, your father. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody to come. Yes,
guys, and along with us watching fights, we love eating food, and you can be sure that we will be there for our guy.
Of course.
As he is here for us.
Sure.
Guys, it's been an honor talking about fights to you guys. You guys hearing our perspective, and I'll catch you at the next show. Thank you, Chimzy, once again for coming.
Peace. Thank you.
All right.